All right, we're in the Bermuda port right now. It's day 2 of being in Bermuda aboard Liberty of the Seas. And as you can see straight ahead there are all the cellular providers right on top of that water tower. So we're gonna mix it up. I got a little AT&T Roaming fired up, and we'll see how they do. 166 millisecond ping. Absolutely terrible loaded ping times, although the beautiful thing with AT&T Roaming is that the roaming is uncapped. It's like $12 a day. And quick shout out to Circled In for making AT&T line possible here. So to be honest with you guys, this is the best internet service I've had in days. So 46 megabits per second down, 27 on the up. And the ping times are kind of a mixed bag, really. But there you go. There's a quick look at some AT&T roaming here in the port at Bermuda. And we're going to move on to our next activity. All right, we are at the aquarium in Bermuda with a beautiful bay or channel or whatever you want to call it over there. Lots of beautiful, colorful houses. Let's run a quick speed test here on Verizon Roaming. I just got the notice that I'm out of my 2 gigs of high-speed data, but I'm guessing for whatever reason the providers here in Bermuda cannot implement the reduced roaming speeds that Verizon gives you after 2 gigs. And I'm getting close to 100 down here, which is really impressive. The loaded ping time is okay for roaming, but not great. Unloaded ping time at 293, loaded ping times over 1,000 on the down, and over 4 on the up, 9 millisecond jitter. So all in all, really respectable speeds here for low band 5G was what I'm assuming this is. So there's the roaming on Verizon here near the aquarium in Bermuda. Today's video is brought to you by Circled In. CircledIn.com makes it super easy to get the benefits and savings that come along with a postpaid or prepaid wireless account without having to set one up yourself. Let's take just a second to see how easy it is to use CircledIn.com and save a ton of money on your wireless. Starting out on the CircledIn.com homepage, I would start by clicking All Circles. Once the page loads, you can sort by postpaid or prepaid providers like Verizon, T-Mobile, Google Fi, Simple Mobile, and Metro. If you see a plan that piques your interest or you feel fits you best, you can click Join Circle, read through more details about the plan, and if you decide to go for it, you can click Reserve. Circled In also now supports streaming services like Netflix, Disney, Hulu, HBO Max, and more. CircledIn.com, check them out today. Thank you again for supporting the channel. All right, so first up, Verizon Wireless. As a pontoon boat comes in from out in the bay. And like I mentioned earlier, I did get notification from Verizon that we were over our 2 gigs of data for roaming on this line, but for whatever reason, the speeds are still not capped at all. The loaded ping time is good considering it's being routed back to the US, basically a VPN. The loaded ping times are really good as well, and the jitter's at 54. And while that finishes, I just want to point out there is somebody's panel antenna up there on the roof of this really nice looking building in front of us. And there you go. There's Verizon Wireless. I'm going to pause and switch to T-Mobile roaming, and we'll see how they do next. All right, we're back. We've got T-Mobile roaming fired up here in Bermuda, and we're going to see how they perform. Now, T-Mobile is connected to Digicel, and the last Verizon test we did, I believe, was connected to, as the bars go away here, hold on. So anyway, the T-Mobile roaming was connected to Digicel, and the Verizon roaming was connected to, drawing a blank right now. Alright, well, I've done everything I can think of to get T-Mobile's data roaming to connect here in Hamilton. It did at the port, so I'm not sure what's going on down here, but complete fail. And here at the port, here in Hamilton, there's one available, the provider one, and Digicel, and both of them are refusing to connect with T-Mobile roaming, despite being on the top tier plan, T-Mobile First Responders plan. So we'll switch over to AT&T next and see if we can make something happen there too. All right, here is AT&T Roaming in Hamilton, Bermuda. And we previously did Verizon and we tried T-Mobile roaming, but it refused to connect. So we've got 172 unloaded ping, in the 200s for the loaded ping on the download side. We got 48.9 on the down, which seems to be a pretty average result around town here, although we did see close to 100 or a little over 100 on Verizon roaming using the same network. So it could be a modem thing with the Pixel, who knows. 200s loaded ping for the up, 25.9 on the upload, and 13 millisecond jitter. So there's AT&T roaming in Bermuda. Let's try the fast.com test, just to see if there's any kind of a cap on the video speed, which it's looking like there's not. It's kind of bouncing all over the map for the video speed test here. And yeah, similar results to Ookla. The ping times are a little less than Ookla, but I would call it about the same. And the upload's going to take a while here, so maybe I'll just pause the video and come back when it finishes. All right, we're back, and we got about 49 megabits per second on the upload, although that's much higher than what Ookla was showing, so take it with a grain of salt. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for joining us here in beautiful Bermuda for some speed testing of the various networks. So overall, for the whole trip, I would say a majority of the time we were spent on one 5G to be more specific. The Digicel network I did connect to on the beach, like I'm sure you saw in one of the videos that I'll end up posting. But, and the speeds were good. The speeds were good on Digicel, but overall Digicel has been very, very reluctant to connect to either one of my devices. On AT&T, it wouldn't even let me select them. And just to give you guys one more look here, we got a giant panel antenna on the roof up there. And I just realized I saw a set of antenna down here next to the palm trees. Boy, one of those panels looks like it's been up there a long time. The top one almost looks like it's a low-band 5G panel, but I'm not an expert on Bermuda cell network technology deployments, so could be anything really. Let me know down in the comments if you're more familiar with the network setups here in Bermuda, but just thought it'd be very interesting to show you guys some of the speed test results on our 2 days that our cruise has been parked here in Bermuda. All right, so last speed test video for the whole trip. Here is the ship's Wi-Fi connected to Starlink, which is sadly capped at 9 something down and about 4 on the up if you're lucky. So yeah, I wish the speeds were better so that I could show you more speed tests from around the boat, but it doesn't matter because this is the best you're gonna get on the entire ship. 8.68 down, 3.81 up, 45 millisecond ping, which is really good. That's definitely a result of being on Starlink. And the loaded ping times are terrible, but I'm going to blame that one on the ship and the cap that they have on the speed. So there you go. There's a Starlink speed test. Nothing exciting.